What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bad C, aka Nicholas Cage, aka Larry J. Blige, aka your mother's baby father. Yo, check it, man. We back with another episode of your favorite song, where I sit down with my favorite artists, producers, battle rappers, and I ask them, yo, what's your favorite song you ever did, B? Word. This one here is a little bit different. What I'm starting to do now is I'm gonna spotlight artists and producers that I feel I want y'all to get to know a little bit better. Word up. But we're still gonna find out what their favorite song is, and I'm still gonna tell them what their favorite song is. But it's a spotlight, nigga. It's a spotlight, nigga. All right. So yeah. So this episode, yo, man, I'm very proud of her. This is my sis. Uh, I put I put her up against all y'all niggas. Like I ain't even go front. Like word up. She don't even rap, man. You know what she do? She make beats, and she makes some of the hardest beats that your fucking best friend could ever make. Word up. Ladies and gentlemen, my sis, MURDA MEGZ. What's good, sis?
Peace, peace. What's happening, y'all?
Word. Yo, thank you for sliding through. It's definitely big. I'm excited about this because, we've worked together. So, it always trips me out when people hear the reaction to the songs. Like when I'm playing the records, I'll be like, yo, yeah, my sis made that beat. He's like, what? Your sis made that beat. I'm like, word. I know you get that a lot. I know you get it a lot.
Oh yeah. From pretty much like in the areas that I'm mostly, introduced to, like in Chicago, St. Louis, and Connecticut and stuff like that. But I'm starting to get worldwide attention. Now that I'm working with you, ever since it's funny that I could say
Yeah,
last year, because time flies so fast. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
But now I'm really starting to get the buzz that I need, thanks to you. Because you didn't have to put me on
Oh
anything.
man. Oh man.
Not
Nah.
the Team Demo. You could have kept going with that, but now that
Yeah.
you did the album, that was the first thing of the year. It was a self-titled album that you did, and you put like every other. It was fresh. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
a fresh thing that you did, and I thank
Yeah.
you for putting me on.
No doubt. I thank you because again, my whole reason for doing it is doing this show is from a fan perspective. I'm a fan. You know what I mean? I'm a fan, not only of the music, but of the culture. I consider myself to be a curator just because I love this shit so much. And when I do projects, I try to do them with producers that you might not have heard of. I really go looking for them. I will go looking for producers like that because I know what it is to be dope and nobody hears it. I know how it is. So I mean, I'm not Jay-Z or anything like that, but anything I can do, to help um, producers such as yourself, I'm all in. And you've been definitely consistent. But I want to go back. I don't want to jump too far ahead. Where you from, Eggs?
Originally from Harlem, New York, but decided to, of course, Newcastle, Pennsylvania. What the hell is in Newcastle, Pennsylvania? It is, throughout. It's not near Philly or nothing like that. It is, near Pittsburgh, of course, the northwest, near Youngstown and all the other stuff like that. So yeah, I would say I'm like near Pittsburgh, pretty much. But that's where my, family and I we had resided to. But originally from Harlem. Yep.
Okay. Um, Now coming up, what was your influences? Now, I I hear I hear Havoc. Tell me if I'm wrong. I hear Havoc. I hear Primo, I hear Alchemist, I hear not that you sound like them, but I hear influence. You know what I'm saying? I hear Rissa. I hear like, am I right? Am I,
Oh yeah, you're exactly right, because that's the era that I grew, being as small as I was, at the age I wasn't even 10 yet, when I, growing up around that time. Of course, my dad was making beats and DJing and all the other stuff like that. I was born in the 90s, so I
yes,
caught it pretty fast.
right.
So yeah, as far as like the boom bap era, you're correct. And plus, we had lived. My dad is a DJ, and of course, we lived next door to a DJ. So we lived in an apartment with two. So I was surrounded by that. And there was no way to get out of it. And of course, my daddy's from the Bronx, so we would go up there, and he would go everywhere to get his records, and start chopping them up right along with his other guys, and yeah, I witnessed, and growing up around that time, so yeah. Yep.
What do you what do you work on? Like what's the equipment and what do you work on and what is your equipment of choice that you might not have yet or you might have it, but what do you work on and what's your dream machine to work
Right now, primarily, I am working with the Machine MK3. That is what I'm, of course, where bake sale came. Now I have two types of MK, machines. I have the MK1 and I have the MK3. That was just the upgrade from years later. I just stuck with whatever was, good for me and whatever I can work with. But I have other things. I do have the MPC 2000 XL. Of course, if you would see that with the pink nails on it, that's what I also work with. That I also work with my first piece of equipment I worked with was, of course, the MPD 24. I couldn't afford nothing, you know, whatever that's, price that was marked, that's what I could get at the time. But now that I'm
on?
older and I got a job, I started working, with
Mhm.
everybody. And, I started getting pieces of equipment at a time, as I was, in my going in the end of my the end of my teen life and going in my 20s. I'm able to afford that piece of equipment and all the other stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's
Shout to having a job, man. Shout to that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Shout to having a job back.
yeah. Like I said,
You
I
know.
got a couple pieces left and right. The MK, the MP, the MPC 2000 XL was my goal piece that I want to keep. But what I, what I worked with, what's easier for me, like I said, the Machine MK3. Now that I'm, working.
So okay, so when did you start though? Like at what age did you start? And now I understand loving culture, right? And but what made you pick that as opposed to rapping, dancing, or DJing? Like what made you want to be a producer? And when did you start?
Um, I started ever since I was 9 years. Like I said, I've been surrounded by beat making and DJing, and it just, like I said, just stuck to me. Yeah, I started ever since I was 9 years old. There was a program on there called FL Studio. I started with that. My dad, he had the SB202. Then he carried the Fostex via. Of course, if you producers, if they're watching, they would know what Fostex, the company Fostex is. Of course, VF80 and some earlier equipment, but he had the VF80. It's a multi-track recorder. It's like a studio. It's a studio all in one. And
Yeah.
he had gotten a Yamaha keyboard from Radio Shack. Recipes to them. We don't have any Radio Shacks. We had that, and of course, when one of his guys had came around and he said, "Hey, yo, look on the internet and get FL Studio." So I started working with that, and when I was a teenager, I said, "Okay, this is what I want to do." So I kept trying and kept practicing, and I wasn't making boom bap beats up until I was in my, like I said, going into my late teens, early 20s. And I had did a good amount of research. Plus I made my mistakes and everything like that. So as I was, growing and, continued to make beats, that's when I started to get into boom bap. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's the lack of resources due to the area that I'm in. If I was in New York, I would probably would have took the train to Brooklyn or
For
took
sure.
the train to the Bronx. That's not no excuse because boom bap is everywhere in New York. Even
For
if I was
sure.
in Jersey, I would have probably took the path train, took my ass to Brooklyn, what the case may be, and got my, got some equipment. But like I said, I live in a small town, and it was a bit, I caught on a bit. It's a bit slow for me, But now that I'm going into my 30s, I'm in the end of my 20s, I'm fine where I'm at now. So yeah, it took me some. It's like almost like 20 years, going on 20 years like that.
Yo, but it's wild because your sound is very Brooklyn. Like your sound is Brooklyn. I can say that because I'm very Brooklyn. And the production, when I hear it, is like, Jesus Christ, this shit makes me want to diddy pop. Like I'm in Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to you with that, man. Word. So I want to get to, first I'm going to tell you what my favorite song you produced is. Now, it's a tie between the song you did for Honey with the cartoon joint that you did for Honey.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's a tie because that beat reminded me of some shit big. I could hear Biggie rapping on that shit. You know what I mean? Fucking fire. Um, my number one joint from you is P and Half.
I knew it.
And it was tough because Call It What You Want is pretty crazy. So is Bob the Builder. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Like there's joints. But I would have to say P and Half just because of how P and Half feels. Like it felt like one of their records. Like they could have jumped on that too. You know what I'm saying? Like it just felt like that. And that was the feeling I got when I heard it, when I heard the record. And we put the Prodigy shit at the beginning of it. One thing that I like about you as a producer is you adapt to the artist quick. You pretty much know what it is that the artist is looking for. And that's what I'm looking for as a producer who knows that. I want to ask you, when you do beats, do you have a certain artist in mind when you're making it? So like when you made that beat for P and Half, was you thinking of Bad Seed when you made it, or was it just a beat that you had made?
At that time, yes, I was thinking of you, but because you gave me a deadline around that time. Of course, I'm late as hell.
Yo, yeah, you go.
I hate to give out an excuse. I hate excuses, but I have to excuse it this time.
Yeah.
I have to do this. The reason why I do that is because I don't want to fuck this up. I told myself, I said, don't just slap some shit and send it. Don't just, it's like putting lipstick on a pig and just calling it pretty when it's not. Now, I want, this project was, whether it was called What You Want or whatever the case may be, it was going to be dope anyway. You know what I'm saying? The project was going to be dope anyway. But I said, you know what? If I want this to be a dope ass project, then I got to do a dope ass job. I can't fail. I don't want to fail this. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I said, you know what? Don't fuck this up. You know what I'm saying? And I got, that was Call It What You Want. I approved it quickly. As soon as you sent it to me quick, I said, okay, I approved it. And that was, and I see that Tony Touch that played it. Speaking of Call It What You Want, Tony Touch wound up playing it. Then of course, Dudes and Parents, G's On, and Rancha, they started playing it. And of course, months later, when I was going to school, you know, Eclipse and Riggs, they started playing it. So I know it was dope. You know what I'm saying? The more I keep doing this, it's gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm
Primo played Bake Sale.
yeah. Oh yeah. Now that
Primo played
I had
Bake
woke up
Sale.
because I said, you know what? I was praying and hoping. I was like, oh man, I think he's gonna play that. If not, the fuck it. But I was like, get up, wake up, get up, look at this post. I woke up and I looked at the post and it had Elvin and then it had Bake Sale with Honey. I was like, oh shit, he finally played it. Thank God he playing it. And I went in my mom. I called my mom. I said, Mom, Primo's playing my record. So yeah, I was happy. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
shocked. You know, I'm happy.
yeah.
You know, that
That
happened.
was a hell of an album. You know, it's crazy. A lot of people like that album, and I'm gonna be 100 with you. That album was placeholder
Mm-hmm.
because I was working on Rejects. I was working on it was a couple other joints I was working on at the same time, and I just wanted to have something out for the
Yeah.
end of the year. So
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why it was just called The Bad Seed. Like it wasn't you know what I mean? Like it wasn't any real anything to it. And a lot of people really like that album. I mean, I ain't gonna front, I do too. Like there's a lot of fire on
Oh
it. A
yeah.
lot of fire. And that was the first
Um,
time I worked. Yeah.
I play that track more than I played Bake Sale and I played everybody shit, but Trog, he did his thing on that shit
Mm.
too.
Homer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homer's one of my favorite joints. Elvin is one of my favorite joints. What was the other shit? Damn, damn, damn. My nigga DP did the shit. Liverworks. Liverworks. That's my shit.
Something where it
Um,
was
yeah. Black Zeus was on there. Daddy Dearest was on there. Like it was a lot of joints. It was dope album. So now we come to the point that everybody really gives a fuck about is out of your catalog, the shit that you've done. What would you think your favorite joint would be? Now, it could be a joint that didn't even come out yet. It could be a joint, anything with your name on it. What do you think your favorite joint?
my god. I'm gonna have to say P and Had. I'm gonna have to say that. Why? Because I was going to school at the time. You know, around I had to do it like a 6 month program in advanced manicurist or nail tech school. Shout out to Casal Leveda. I just graduated in September, but
Okay.
I had to do. I said, now if I want to do this, and if I still want to do music, I'm gonna have to juggle this shit out, which is easy for me. You know, of course, I just got there in Ohio, you know, just in time. I parked at my parking space. I pulled the computer out, did what I did there. Then, of course, I went to the building, clocked in. Then I was supposed to have a client at the time. And I said, okay, if I don't get this client today, just because she's marked from yesterday, then I'm gonna have to, do something with that. But thank God I did not get that client that day. I mean, they was marked for that, the day before that. But when it came to that day, they had to unmark her because she had to reschedule. So I went in. I said, you know what? Let me pull out this laptop, get to working, and then I just sent it one by one, regardless of the internet. The internet was slow
Yeah.
as hell. I wound up using mine because them bitches act like they didn't want to give me the internet. So I said, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna do what I do anyway. And I
Yeah.
sent it one by one. I was gonna send it into a folder. So I wound up sending you the beats one by one and P and have dun 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 dun. And then you had sent it back to me when I was in Connecticut. Yep, when I was in Connecticut, you had sent it back to me. And yeah, I did the artwork for it. I said, oh shit, finally I got the place. I got 2 placements. But I'm happy that everybody is feeling that, pretty much all of them, all of them. But P and Hall is one of my favorites. I'm bumped out,
Yeah. Yo, you know it's crazy. I gotta blow you up. Yeah, Megs is notorious for the fourth quarter. Megs is gonna come in the fourth quarter with 10 seconds left on the clock, but she gonna come through with the 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? From half court. But it's every time though. It's every time. Like she'll come through though. You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking at the album like, damn, yo, we about to finish up. We about to finish up. It feels done. Max said something like, hold my drink. You ain't done, nigga. You got at least one on something. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't a project totally produced by somebody, you got at least one. You know what I mean? And consistent. You know, so shout to you for that too, because you know I'm pretty picky, but you moved into my circle of producers that know me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like y'all already know what to say. You know, so shout to you, shout to Team Demo, shout to Freakshow, which brings me to perfect segue. You know, the project Four Finger Ring that's coming soon. That's produced by you, Freakshow, and Team Demo. You know what I'm saying? All together. You know, so shout to y'all for that. That's gonna be real crazy. That's gonna be my first project back in a long time. So you know, y'all gotta see if the old man still got the rust on him. See if I still got it.
Rock stars back then could do it if they, everybody. It's not about the ageism. You know what I'm saying? It's about what you got. You still got it. You still got it.
Nah, you know. I'm ready to dance on these niggas, sis. Sis, you know I'm ready to dance on these niggas. Ready to dance on these niggas. These niggas, you already know. It was something I wanted to ask before we get up out of here. Now, this isn't a beat you made. Out of all the fucking beats in the world of all times, every beat that you could think of, ever in life, in LIFE, life. What is your favorite beat of all time?
My favorite beat of all time that I didn't produce or
Right.
what I wish to produce.
Yeah, same, yeah.
I wish because it's a couple. It's a couple that I wish. Like I said, it's the old lot. The one that I wish to produce. If I was a lucky motherfucker, it would have been Jay-Z's Hard Knock Life. That's one of my favorite songs. I wish 45 King. He was lucky for that. I wish I would have did that. And if it was another choice, wow, it would be something that Don Cannon did with Young Jeezy. It would be crazy. It would go crazy. That was lucky. If I was a lucky motherfucker, I would do that too. Like I said, it's a couple more. It's a couple more, but those are the ones that came to my mind. So yeah.
Yo, it's crazy. I don't make beats, but if I made beats, the one beat I wish I made would be the fucking Benjamin.
Yeah, that would be one. Yes.
Yo, that shit is hypnotizing. Yo, I remember seeing that shit in the tunnel, real time.
Mm-hmm.
Like what it did to the tunnel. A lot of them records in the 90s in the tunnel was crazy.
I bet
Like
it
all
was.
that Mob Deep shit, all that Jay-Z shit. Snoop and Dre had the fucking time.
And you know what? Speaking of Mob Deep, I should have mentioned something about the learning burn. I should have mentioned something about that. Now that Havoc was just
That's a
amazing.
hell of a beat.
Shit that producers do. The shit that we come up with is just amazing. We could take days, we could take months, because remember, don't fuck it up. But yeah, the shit that they do on the spot, the shit that we do on the spot, it's amazing. It's a fucking
That's a
amazing.
hell of a beat.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a beat.
of course, I don't want to sample snitch or nothing like that. I know it, you probably know it too. But yeah, that's whew.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
that's,
hell of a beat.
you know what? And speaking of Sam, it's another song that I was thinking of. It's not the learning, it's not burn. It was Quiet Storm. It's Quiet
Quiet
Storm.
Storm.
But yeah, it's just like I said, it's a couple. It's gonna come to mind the further we go down.
Shit, Godfather Part 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, Have is dope. Have is dope. Have is been dope.
Yes,
He's and very underrated. You know, I know your parents. What do your parents think about what you're doing? And like, I know they real proud.
all very, very.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Because especially because I know they come from the era. So I know them coming from the era. They see what you're doing and they're like, okay.
She bumps Uber. She bumps it heavy. Uber last track. Of course, best is best for last. But
Yeah.
yeah, she loves that track more than anything.
Nah,
My
yo, just
she bumps that
for,
one.
for the record, Mama Murda Megs. Message to Mama Megs. Mama Murda. It was only last on that project because it just felt like we in the Uber leaving the the party. The party was the album, you know. And
Before by who was off. Yeah.
yeah, like we in the Uber, like we out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
But yeah,
it's
what
just
did it say
creative.
I don't care. What that dude said on the symphony, I don't care who first or who last.
Yeah. It's just creative placement. It had by no means anything to do with the quality of the record or what I thought of the record. And it's funny because it's actually one of my favorite records I got to actually record with my man John Robinson. Lil Si, I had never did a record with him, and I've known him for a long time. Like we've been on records together, but indirectly, like just on other people's records and shit like that. But we never did a record me and him, so that was iconic for me. You know what I'm saying? So shout to Mama Murda Megs. You know what I'm saying? Word up. I don't want no smoke. None. Zero. Zero. But yo, sis.
What you do?
Mm-hmm. Sis, I want to thank you for joining us on your favorite song. And we shine the spotlight, so I hope they get to know you a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And go into the mind of Murda Megs because it's a scary place. I know because I be opening the emails and I be listening. Them shits is hard. Like them shits is hard. Them shits is pull up bar hard. Like when you hear them shits, you just want to do push ups. Like the shit is crazy. Like you can't listen to, but when Meg sends you shit, there's certain places you can't open them and listen to them. Like if you work in an office, you can't listen to them because you're gonna get on the floor and start doing push-ups in the middle of the office. They're gonna fire you. You're gonna fucking get fired. You can't listen to Murda Megs beats in the middle of the mall in your headphones. You can't do it. You're gonna be fucking doing push-ups by the fucking pretzel stand. They're gonna kick you out of the mall. They're gonna kick you out. You're out of here. Don't listen to Murda Megs beats when you're pumping gas because you're gonna fuck around, spill all the gas because you're gonna fucking get down and start doing push-ups by the gas. You're gonna fuck everything up. They're gonna kick you out of there. You're gonna go to jail. They're all gonna laugh. So don't do it. Only do them in certain settings when you're about to have a fight, when you're about to go to work, when you're about to go to the gym, you driving, you know what I'm saying? Anything to get you, you know what I'm saying? Like I suggest, because this is hard. This was a public service announcement from your boy. You've been warned. Word up. Sis, thank you. Thank you for joining us. You know what I'm saying? And we look forward to all the stuff that got coming soon. And this has been another episode of Favorite Song.